Hello, grade 6 students. So today I'm planning to discuss grade 6, 2021, October monthly test pass paper. Right? So this is for Lyceum International School grade 6 students. So first I will share the paper with you. Right. So monthly test, October 2021. So maybe that this is the first time you are joining with me to this kind of paper discussion, because this is the first examination you will be having after you come to the middle school in the school, right? So far you were in the primary school and you had a different format for the exams and the different instructions. But now onwards, you want to train how you are going to face an exam in the middle school. So this is the first time. So you want to be ready for that. Right. So then, first of all, when you get a paper like this, children, the very first thing you want to do, read the instruction carefully. Right. You can see on top of that, they have named the paper and the subject. Then you want to mention that is whether you are in class 6A, 6B, 6C, likewise, and the duration they have allocated for this paper. It's 2 periods. Then you want to write your name, candidate's name, and your admission number. You know that the different schools you have different admission numbers. Then you want to write it and the date. And can you see a small box there? So there it says that out of 100 marks. So for the paper, you can have 95 maximum. And for your handwriting, so this is not that the handwriting you want to have that the circular letters and all. So then this is all about your neatness and how you present the paper, and how about your handwriting, whether you are writing the accurate handwriting, and how about especially when it comes to the math paper, so how you are writing the numbers, right? So this is all about the neatness, presentation, and the accuracy of your letters and numbers. So then for that, you get 5 marks. Okay, children? Then the instructions. Instructions to candidate. Answer all the questions. Record your answers in the spaces provided in this paper. So that means you are not allowed to use the line paper. So any other papers on the exam day, when you are writing the answers, you want to write the answers on this paper itself. They have given us the spaces. So you want to manage the spaces they have given and write your answers. And you can see the part 1 of the paper, right? I will show you. Then you have few questions in part 1. Then you have part 2, right? So then you can see they have given you the marks allocated, and this is the end of the paper, right? So we will explain that we will do the paper from one by one. Yeah, part 1, question number 1. Without wasting the time, let's get started. Part 1, question number 1. So this is all about your chapter 1 and chapter 2 in your book, right? So if I move to your textbook, yeah. So addition and subtraction of whole numbers, right? So then you have multiplication and division of whole numbers. So the whole part 1, question number 1, it is based on these 2 chapters, right? Multiplication and division of whole numbers, addition and subtraction of whole numbers. So then you want to be thorough. That already if you have done the paper and if you feel that you want to thorough with the content again, what you can do, children, you can take your textbook and go to the first chapter, chapter 12, addition and subtraction of whole numbers. Then you can check the multiplication and division of whole numbers, right? So you should know that how to check it. Now I will guide that also. Now if you check, you can see, so these are the wait, I will show you. Yeah, you have these kind of thing. I'll take a different color. Yeah, you see, this is the first example they have given, right? And this is the second example. Okay, and you can see the instruction. you have a long weekend just before the exam. By any chance, if you miss anything, please go through your textbook like this. You can see the examples. So then if I move further, so then you have set of questions. And you see, again, they have explained something with an example, how you should do it. And then when first you want to get the unit columns like that, they have explained it, right? So then if you move further, you see another example inside a box. See how they have done and how they have done the workings, right? So likewise, you have the examples to follow. If you feel that I don't have enough confidence to go through all the questions in the paper, what you can do, you take your textbook and go to chapter 1 and chapter 2. Chapter 1 and chapter 2, right? So this is chapter 1, addition and subtraction. Then chapter 2, right? Okay. First question. And another thing, children, you want to do, you can have a working column like this. See what I'm doing. On the exam day, you can have a working column like this. See what I'm doing, right? Oh, sorry. Okay. Now, when you want to do something, you can use this working column. Now here that you can add the numbers, hope you know the procedure, that the steps you want to follow when you are adding the numbers. Here you want to start from left side. You want to start from left side to add, right? This is the theory you should know. So then 6 plus 4, 10, 10 plus 3, 13, 13 plus 8, 21. So likewise, first one, 6 plus 3, 9, 9 plus 8, 17. Then you write the answer, 17 here, right? You can write the answer here, 17. Okay. Take another color. Yeah. So then you can see. So then the next one, children, the second one, you multiply by 10. You know what happened. When you multiply a number by 10, what happened? You add 0 to the end. It becomes 600. Then the next one, what happened? You deduct 10 from 1210, right? So actually, you don't want to have the workings for all these things. They are very simple. 1210, right? You have. From that, you deduct, you take away 10. What will happen? You have 1200. So the next one, I will use the working column. So here you have the mixture of addition and subtraction. What you can do, children, you first write the question like this. Why is that? I'll make it bigger. Yeah. You take it like this. Why is that? You want to take it like that. So then here you have an order, right? First, what you want to do? First, you take the positive values, right? So then 6 plus 3, 9. 9 minus 8. That 9 take away 8. It is 1. Then here you can write the answer 1. Right? So then your working is there. You can show it like that. If you cannot straight away get the answer, 6 minus 8, then you have to deal with the negative numbers. So it is easier for you to take the like terms, that the numbers which are similar with the sign. 6 and 3, both of them are positive numbers. Then I wrote them together. Then I wrote the negative number. So then the next one, you know, it's obvious. You now multiply any number by 0. What will be the answer, children? It is 0. Then the next one, what will happen? 2 times 2, 4. 4 times 2, it is 8. Right? So then the next one. 35 divided by 7. Now, okay, so we'll go through the 7 multiplication. that the multiplication table, 7 times 1, 7, 7 times 2, 14, 7 times 3, 21, 7 times 4, 28, 7 times 5, 35. There should be, my answer should be 5. Got it? So then 6 times 8, it is 48. Look at the next one. You have 422 apples and you are giving 422 apples, let's say, to your sister. Now, how many apples you have now? Nothing, because you gave all the apples you had with you. 422, subtract 422, you have nothing now. Then 640 you divided by 10. What will happen? Now, when you multiply 60 by 10, what I did, children, I added a 0 to the end. Then 640, I divided by 10. Can you remember what you should get? So that is 64, right? Okay, so then let's say you have 760 apples and you're so greedy, you're not giving anything. How many apples you have now? You have the same 760. And then you multiply a particular number by 1. Then you get the answer as it is. Now here, children, they are testing the different concepts, whether you know them or not. So the first one, they check whether you know how to add numbers which are in horizontally or else as a line. The first one, okay. Then second one, they check whether you know how to multiply a particular number by 10, 100 and 1000. When you multiply a particular number by 10, 100 and 1000, what happens? You add zeros according to the number of zeros you have. If it is 10, you add only 1 zero. If it is 100, you add 2 zeros. If it is 1000, you add 3 zeros, right? Then you see that they check your the subtraction knowledge. You don't want to write this vertically and do this. The steps, you know that if you have something and when you are giving something, then what happened? 100 and 1210 you had, and out of this you gave 10, so then that is 1200. Then the fourth question, what they are checking, children, so when you have a mixture of operations like addition and subtraction, what you want to do, first you like the like terms together, how we did here. So this is the step you want to follow when you are doing this kind of question. First you write the like terms or the similar terms which are with the positive now sign, then you write the negative sign, then you do the addition and subtraction accordingly. 6 plus 3, it is 9. 9 minus 8, or 9 subtract 8 is 1. So then the fifth one, they check whether you know how to multiply a number by 0, then it gives us 0 itself. So then the sixth one, it's from your chapter 12, factors and indices, that when you multiply the same number by itself, 2 times 2, 4, 4 times 2, 8. Then the next one, it's just about the multiplication table. 35 divided by 7 and 6 times 8. Then the ninth one, you have something and you take away everything, that the whole thing you take away, that you don't have anything. So then 640 you divide by 10. Like in that a number you multiply by 10 and 100 and 1000, what will happen? Then the next thing, when you divide a number by 10, 100 and 1000, what will happen? Right? So these are the things you want to go through if you can't remember how to do these things. And when you are deducting 0, right, that means you are not giving anything, then you have the original amount as it is, that is 760. So then the same thing, it happens that when you are deducting 0, you get the same answer. Likewise, when you're multiplying a number by 1, again, you get the same answer, right? So that is all about question number 12. Sorry, question number 1 with 12 marks, right? So then we will move to the question number 2. So you want to be mindful because that there is a blank and you multiply it by 20, then you get the answer 80. So then what will be the answer, children? So here that you have a blank and you multiply it by 20, so then it should be 4. Why? That 4 times 20, it is 80. Then again you have something and you multiply it by 10, then you have 1000. So that is 100. Okay. So then you have 60,800. Then when you look at the answer, you don't have those 2 zeros at the end. What should happen? So then that number should have divided by 100, right? So that's how you, now in the answer, you don't have the 2 zeros at the end. Then can you see 668 has become 6,680, that there is an additional 0 at the end. So that what you should do, you want to multiply it by 10, right? 10 you multiply by something, it gives you 0. So definitely it should be 0, right? Definitely it should be 0. Then something you divided by 100, then you get the answer 288. So then that should be this. Can you see? Because 28,800 if you had, and you divide it by 100, so then you get the answer 288. Then 63, you divide it by something, and it gives you the answer 9. What should be the number? You recall the 9's multiplication table? 9, then 18, 27, 36, 45, then 45, 54, and 63. So then what should be the answer, children? It should be 7, right? 9, 18, 27, 36, 45, 54, 63. It should be 7. So then 9 you multiply by a particular number, you get the answer 9. So that is 9 times 9, it is 81. And 9 you divide by something, you get the answer 1. How do you get the answer 1, children? When a particular number divided by itself. So then 9 divided by 9, it gives you 1. And look at the next one. 10 plus 8, it is 18. But for that 18, you want to add something. It should be in the blank. And it will give us the answer, what? Answer 41. Right? The answer is 41. Right? Now, you can see 10 and 8. So that is 18. Right? If need, you can use the second column for this. Okay. So you have 10 and 8, right? It is 18. 8, I'll make it smaller. Right, so then you have 10 and 8. Then you have 1. So from 40, you want to deduct 18. What will be the answer? What will be the answer, children? Sorry, it should be 41, right? It should be 41. 41 minus 18. What should be the answer? How do you deduct? 1 subtract 8, you can't do that. Therefore, you want to borrow. So then 11 minus 8, it should be 3. Then you have 3. 3 minus 1, it is 2. So then the answer should be 23. The answer should be 23. Right. So then you can bring here the answer 23. Right. So then now you can cross check whether your answer is correct. 23 minus 10, 33. 33 minus 8, it is 41. So then you have 48 and you deduct something and you get the answer 16. So then how do you get that? So then 48 minus 16. So then what will be your answer? 48 you had, right? And you deducted 16. Is it 32? Yeah, so then we'll check. From 48, you deduct 32. So then you get the answer 16. Therefore, this should be 32. Then the next one, you have something and you add 18 for that. Then you get 65, the answer. Therefore, you do it like this. What is that? 65, subtract 18, then you get the answer. 65, so subtract 18, 17, 47, right? Here it should be 47, and you have 47. If you want to cross-check, you add 47 and 18 again. So then it gives you 65 marks. So that is all about question number 2, right? So children, this is how you want to get your answers. These are very simple questions, right? We don't want to worry about that much. So these things you have done when you were in grade 4 and 5 too. Now, so then we will move to question number 3. Question number 3, that I will show you exactly what you have in your textbook, children. See, sorry. Now can you see? 42, they have multiplied by 900. What they have done, children? 42, they have multiplied by 900 and they have expanded the 900 value. How? 9 multiplied by 100. First you do this thing. 42 you multiply by 100, it gives you 378. Okay. So then you do 378. You multiply by 100. You know what you should do. You want to add 2 zeros to the end. That is 37,800. Right? So you see that the same thing we want to do, right? What you can do, you write here. So then you put the equation mark 254 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 100, right? Then the next step you write what is the answer when you multiply 254 by 2? 508. So then you have 508 multiplied by 100. So then that is 50,800. Right? So then how you can show this? So then if need, you can show the workings here. You go to your working column and you write 254. You multiply by 2. 2 times 4, 8. So then 2 times 5, 10. 1 remaining. 2 times 2, 4 plus 1, 5. 508. You multiply by 100. So these are the steps. I know that in my school also, when I was doing the paper, that past paper discussion, what they have done, 254, they have multiplied like this, 200, and they have written 3 zeros. Again, they have written 3 zeros. Then they have written 508. So then what happened? You get the same 50,800, right? But they expect whether you have followed this example or not. That's what I'm telling children. Always you want to follow the textbook and see how they have done it. Now here just they have added 1 zero. Here 2 zeros, right? So then when you multiply it by 20, they have segregated the 20, 2 times 10, and you multiply 85 by 2, then it gives you 170. That 170 they multiply by 10. So then the same concept they check whether you have done it or not. Therefore, you don't want to have this method. Instead, you want to have the method they have used in the textbook, right? The next one, you can see the denominators are same. When you have the same denominator, you don't want to worry. You draw the longer line like this and you write the denominator value. Then you add the numerator values like this. 5 plus 1 plus 5. So then the answer is 11 over right? So then this is out when you are adding the fractions or subtracting the fraction, if you find the same denominator, what you should do. So that is the knowledge they are testing. So then if you go to this one, so not that, 43. You want to go to 43, yeah. Fraction, addition and subtraction. So then here they have added, wait, I will show you. So then you can see now, always I am referring the textbook. Why is that? Because they have given it in a detailed way. So then we don't want to worry what to do and how can I do that. So everything explained clearly with the box. You just look at this, what they have done. When you have the same denominator, you draw the longer line like that and you add the numerators. Simply you add the numerators. See, whatever it is. But the second example, it is different, children. Now, the first example, you got 5/7 where you cannot simplify that fraction more. But the second example, you can see you have 14 and 22. What they have done, they have divided both numerator and the denominator by 2. 2 times 7, 14, and 2 times 11, 22. Then the final answer is 7/11, which you cannot simplify further, right? So, but the first step, what they have done in both cases, as you have the same denominator, they have drawn the longer line and they have just added the numerator values, 2 plus 3 and 9 plus 5. And if it is possible to simplify, then the second example, it shows us how to simplify it, right? So then when you are subtracting also, then you get the same thing, you see. And here, that they have given three the fractions, the same thing, right? Now you just look at the question, the same thing. Okay, the same thing you have. And if it is the subtraction, we'll see what happens. See, the common denominator, you just subtract the numerators. Common denominator, you just subtract the numerators. So then again here that the answer 4/8, you can simplify. Therefore, they have divided both numerator and the denominator by 4. 4 times 1, 4, and 4 times 2, 8. The final answer is 1/2, right? So then you keep that during the paper discussion, you keep your textbook and your school theory book with you. And you just check that what they have explained and what you have done in the school. And so then doing the paper, the past papers, it's not that like a marathon. You do it and then you get it marked from a teacher and then you think, okay, so I'm done with everything. So I did the past papers. No, it is not the way, children. When you are doing a past paper, you want to be thorough with all the theory content related to that. So then the equivalent fraction. What do you mean by an equivalent fraction, children? Then you have a fraction, and to have an equivalent fraction for that, either you want to multiply or divide numerator and the denominator both by the same number, right? Can you see that earlier I was explaining about simplifying? What I did, I divided both numerator and the denominator by the same number. And I told that I simplified this fraction. So this is part of finding an equivalent fraction. Because in finding equivalent fraction, what we do, children, we multiply or divide both numerator and the denominator by the same number. Now here you want to understand how they have converted 3 into 24. How they have converted 3 into 24. 3 multiplied by 3 multiplied by 8 equals 24. So then I should do the same thing to the denominator also. 8 I should multiply by 8. That is 64. Right? So then 3, the initial fraction, they had a 3 and they have converted into 24. How they have converted into 24? 3 times 8. So then if it is an equivalent fraction, I should do the same treatment to the denominator also. Then denominator 8, I should multiply by the same number 8. 8 times 8, it is 64. So then I write the answer here, 64. 64. Like this. Okay. Then we will move to the next step, the question number 4. Right, question number 4. You want to compare the fraction. Here, children, you want to learn few things. As we spend few minutes in the earlier 3 questions, I think it's better to have another video from question number 4 onwards. Otherwise, it will be too much for you. So then, even though you are in grade 6 now, still you are little ones now. So then it will be too much for you. What I do that I'll end this video now with these 3 questions, question number 1, 2, 3. And I will start another video that with part 2, right? So then with question number 4 onwards, because I want to explain you few theory concepts with these questions, especially the LCM calculation, right? Then we have the multiples, factors, index, then the prime numbers, then how you can decide whether this number is divisible by 2, 3. So the divisibility test we want to discuss, and the square numbers, a lot to discuss, right? Therefore, I'm going to have, I think, so there will be another 2 videos for the same paper. Okay, children? So then we'll meet again with the second video of 2021 October monthly test, grade 6 past paper. Till then, stay safe. Go through all the theory concepts which you have missed with your textbook. Okay.